What's going on, my PT peeps and my Game of Thrones fans? One Eye Bri back to talk about the Season 8 finale. And was it really that bad? Not Season 8 as a whole. That's a whole separate video that we'll probably make in a couple days. But we're going to talk about Season 8, Episode 6, the series, season, everything finale of Game of Thrones. Spoiler warning for the Game of Thrones TV show. Everything involved, Season 8 as a whole, but the entire series, spoiler warning. Now, the series is over, and who is left alive? A lot more people than I thought would actually be alive. Grey Worm, Jon, Gilly, Sam, Brienne, Bran, Bronn, Sansa, Arya, Davos, Tyrion. Man, there's a lot of characters that are left. Yara, everyone at the Dragon Pit when they elected Bran to be their king. Now, I have to say that I'm glad that they showed this right here. Because if they didn't, everybody would be like, maybe Jaime's alive. Maybe Cersei's alive. Well, no, they're not. And I have to say, it looked pretty good. The episode looked great. The CGI looked great. And again, people are going to complain about every little thing possible. But that's not what I do here about the show. Because overall, I really enjoy the show. Look at that. It looks great. I kind of wish Grey Worm and Jon actually fought or had some physical altercation, and then they stopped, and maybe Jon didn't want to go through with the fight, but it would have been pretty awesome. It didn't happen, but there was animosity between these two for sure. I have to say, I really like this part right here. It was pretty awesome. It's a small little moment, but you see Dany as the final dragon. Well, the human Targaryen dragon, as Drogon's the last dragon, but it was pretty cool nonetheless. But I have to say, as a series finale, it didn't do the best job of like wrapping everything up. But how could you, right? Because life goes on in this universe. Westeros, the North, the South, the Six Kingdoms now. And my question to you, was it really that bad? A lot of people are going to say, yup, it sucked. Worst episode ever. But really, was it? They did a lot more things than I thought they were actually going to do, and a lot more people survived. Dany was queen for about 10 seconds. And then she got killed by Jon. And it was kind of something that we saw coming. A lot of people thought it was Jon. A lot of people thought it was Arya. And to be honest, it kind of had to be Jon, right? Especially as he got past Drogon, which was pretty awesome. That was a pretty awesome moment. And the symbolism of the Iron Throne was melted away, kind of like a lot of symbolism from Lord of the Rings. Of the ring being melted, the Iron Throne was being melted too. So it was kind of interesting. And it was kind of sad that Jon had to be the one to kill Dany because he didn't want to do it. You could see he was like, come on, just change your mind. Show them that you can actually be a merciful person. But nope, she couldn't do it. And then boom, gone. Jon had to take her out. It was the right thing to do. Even if you're a Team Dany fan, would you think it was great for Dany to go around and burn up all these other places and kill so many more people? And that brings up the question, by taking out Dany, it was clearly for the greater good, because one life being taken saved a whole bunch more. As for Drogon, it was pretty awesome. Now they had to do something with Drogon, and to be honest, I'm really surprised that he lived. It was pretty cool, actually. I thought Drogon was going to get killed. I thought Dany was going to get killed too, either by Arya or Jon, but it was a sad and really kind of nice moment with Drogon and Dany when he flew away with her. And we're not sure where he went. Maybe Valentis, maybe Valyria. But it's pretty cool to see that he's still alive. And maybe one of the spin-offs. I believe there's rumors that there's 3 spin-offs. A prequel series, another series, and something else. But I would really love for it to be related with some of these characters. And what if this was the series finale of Game of Thrones, but really kind of the starting point for another show? Would you watch? Would you not watch? I would, because I want to know what happens with all these people. Bran the Broken, Tyrion, and everyone involved that's still alive. And you gotta hand it to Tyrion. He did an awesome thing by really setting the tone for Bran to be king. That was pretty awesome. And I really like Tyrion, and I'm glad he survived, even though I didn't think he would, which was kind of pretty cool. As for these 3, I want to know what happens with the Starks going forward. Sansa, the Queen of the North. Arya, can you get a spin-off of Arya? A lot of people love that character, and that show would be pretty awesome. I know I would watch. Would you? This guy was pretty hilarious, and I like Sansa was like, yeah, sit down. Edmure, sit down, please. Come on. No, you're not going to be king. Don't just make your point for anything. Yeah, all right. Why are you still alive, actually? But ultimately it was kind of funny. And I liked that they went back to the Dragon Pit for this. Jon going back to the Night's Watch is something I'll talk about later. But did you see that coming? I didn't. And it's kind of interesting that it came full circle. The start of the show, the end of the show. And I know a lot of people are going to be disappointed about Jon and Sansa and Dany and the dragons and everything. But a lot of stuff happened in it. It didn't feel like an ending to me, though. It was like, all right, this is the end, but there's just so much story left to be told in my eyes. Bran being the king could be amazing. What would happen for the next so many years? And I hope we find out. And to be honest, I'm not really too excited about the prequel series that aren't going to connect with any of these characters. But, maybe I'll watch, maybe I won't. But ultimately, Bran being the king is something that is pissing a lot of people off. And people are like, I watched this show for so long and this happened and so long for that happened. And what? It makes no sense. I did it for nothing. Well, for effing nothing. And I watched this for effing nothing. And you're like, oh man, that's not good. I don't feel that way. I don't feel robbed. I don't feel like I was like, oh man, I just wasted all these years of my life. It was good storytelling. Kind of up to this last season. It was a little rushed, it was a little much, and I see where people are saying it. But it's kind of cool to see where Sansa started and she ended up. Jon started and she ended up. Arya and Bran, Brienne, Bronn, Tyrion, so many characters that are still alive are fan favorites, which are pretty cool. Like, I'm not a big Sansa fan, but it's pretty awesome that she's the Queen of the North. And she started with Cersei and Joffrey and come here, little bird. And now she's kind of a badass leader, right? And if that doesn't scream Cersei, I don't know, right? Maybe she would turn evil. That would be pretty terrible writing if she did. But what do you think of the series finale? A lot of people watched it, and I believe it set records for an HBO show. I thought this was pretty cool, especially for the fact that I like all of these characters that are sitting at this table. And that's pretty cool. And I guess they wrapped it up with the best group of people to run King's Landing and the Six Kingdoms. I thought it was pretty cool that we saw Brienne and Jaime connected again, and her writing in the Kingsguard book of Jaime's life. Because what was written there before Brienne wrote stuff was not really the clear picture of Sir Jaime Lannister. And to be honest, it wasn't the best episode, but I don't think it was the worst series finale I've ever seen. The Sopranos one was pretty terrible. The Breaking Bad one was pretty good. The Seinfeld one was terrible. The Friends one was okay. They're just coming to my mind. The House one was okay. But it just left it open like, all right, these characters are going to go on even without us. Don't stop believing, right? That's a Sopranos reference to that finale. But Arya going forward, I would love, love, love to have an Arya show. Even if it was connected with other characters, if she came back to King's Landing and it wasn't just her show, it was in the spin-off show, she was a big part of it. That would be pretty awesome. Would you watch? I don't know if Jon would be there. I don't know if Tormund would be there. But I kind of like the fact that Jon came back to the Night's Watch and then he left. He went out with the Free Folk, with Tormund and Ghost and the Wildlings. And that really has come full circle from the first episode to the last episode. And I guess that's what they were trying to do here. Because the first episode of the entire series starts with the Rangers of the Night's Watch. They go out, they find the Wildlings that were all tore up with the White Walker, and, well, I guess White Walkers, or maybe it was just one White Walker, that's all we saw, but it's far different now. I don't know how the wall was built so quickly and how much time has passed, but I see what they were doing here. The first episode to the last episode and the Night's Watch and everything connected there. Now it's free and safe and good to go. And I know a lot of people are pissed about the Night King and Dany and this and the Mad Queen and what they had to do and it feels rushed and all the things. But overall, it was entertaining. Were you not entertained? I mean, it was. And it did give us somewhat of an ending. It didn't just end like black screen. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know the Sopranos ending. But overall, I thought it was decent. It was okay. It wasn't the best, like, oh man, that's the best ending ever. No way. It's not by any means, but was it really that bad? And if yes, why? What did you want to happen? What did you want to see happen? Why was it so bad in your eyes? Was it not making sense because Dany shouldn't have turned mad? Well, If she didn't, what would be the end game? And what would you want to see? Dany and Jon getting married? 2 Targaryens getting married to each other? And if that happened, that just would have continued on the cycle. They broke the wheel and broke that cycle. So let me know your thoughts. Post your comments below. Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. And you can, guys, please hit the subscribe button, become a valued member of our PT channel. And remember, guys, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. Believe in yourself. You can do it. It's about love, support, staying positive, making memories, and anything is possible. See ya.